Hey, hey. That is old school right there. I'll be sure. How are y'all? I'm going to come to you later with a different kind of sauce for some zoodles or koodles or carroty noodles. I'm not sure. It depends on what I come across. But, you know, I was just thinking to myself how I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, well, you know, Tanny, you know, men just aren't going to do this. They're not going to. This is after I created this meal and it probably took me maximum 10 minutes. The oven could not have preheated in the time I have whipped up this delicious feeling, satisfying meal. What it is it's not that it's any harder, it's just people are not accustomed to doing this lifestyle. It goes against the grains of what's going on with other people. You know, it's not just, I don't know, living for the moment or just grabbing what is there or doing what everybody else does, you know, having a cigarette as you go through the drive-thru at Taco Bell, washing it down with a Pepsi Cola, and then that night seeing how drunk you can get because you can't stand the thought of your life. You know, it's about mental clarity and it's about living clean and recognizing and figuring out how to do it easy, you know, and so it doesn't even cost as much as what you were spending on food. Also, I think it is very interesting how a lot of the raw food gurus, so to speak, look like they're gaining weight to me. Why is this? I think it's too much fat. First of all, it could be too much calories because maybe they're not having as much physical activity, though they're eating 4,000 calories. On the other hand, it could be too much fat. I see a lot of people that you know, they promote a low-fat, raw vegan diet, but a lot of these recipes are loaded with nuts, and the serving that they're showing when it's on the pasta dish or zoodle dish or that kind of thing, it's the amount of food that I would eat in one serving, though that whole thing of, I don't know, you've got several kinds of fat mixed in with this, and I think it really doesn't cultivate vibrancy. You know what I mean? When I am eating really low fat, you know, typically I range between 8 or 9 and 11 maximum, but usually around 8 or 9, and I really feel better. That is with me adding in a little bit of added fat, usually in each dinner meal. So I want to start really talking about that and, you know, talking about how you can have like a half of an avocado in the evening on your dressing or super sauce to give yourself a satisfied feeling, but yet you're not adding all these nuts and different things that are acidifying for the body and really drag you down. So we're going to start talking a little bit more about that. Does that sound good? Oh.
What's up? This is Charlie Wilson. FedEx pack.
Nothing. No. I'll see y'all later. My name, like a burning flame, sing it y'all. Let the fire get higher. I can remember singing that song when I was in the 9th grade. But back to the topic at hand, which is too much fat in your low-fat raw vegan meals. When you are making your dressings and your sauces to go on your veggie noodles or your salads or different things, what we need to do is cut the fat. Cut the fat in these things. Like if you only want to use, okay, say you have a 2,000 calorie base diet generally, and you want to have about 200 calories from an avocado, which is 10%. Okay, so you're going to have about half of an average size avocado, and you're going to make that into a dressing or sauce or whatnot to go on there, or even add it to your soups for a creamy existence. And even a savory smoothie is good too. But the thing is this, you can cut the fat in that with all kinds of different things. Base veggies that don't have much taste in them, like mushrooms. I've said this many times, but people seem to have a stumbling block on this. Mushrooms, yellow squash peeled, zucchini, eggplant will do it. Anything that has a very neutral base taste can be put in there, even if you're doing chia crackers or dehydrated crackers and things, use pulp out of that you're going to throw away because you did a juice, or blend that in, or make that into like little sort of like haystack pieces, and spoon that in and get it all wet and everything with the chia seeds, or with whatever you're using for your little fat component if you want that. Or you can even use like dates and raisins and things instead of fat to give it a little stickability, you know, to give it a hold togetherness. So that's the way to do it, and it also saves you a lot of money, because even though you can find especially if you're using nuts, you can really cut the cost of your raw vegan diet by adding in these very neutral tasting veggies. Here's another thing. When I first went raw, after going, I've said this many times, but after going vegetarian to vegan and then stumbling into raw, I did not realize what high fat my diet was. If you will really start looking at that and you're incorporating, I don't know, 1.5 cups of nuts, really take an honest look at that, at what you're doing. And you don't have to look at it like, okay, I guess I'll look at this. People don't want to see the reality of how much fat they're eating. But there's a way, if you will cut the fat with these other neutral tastes, that you will not miss the fat. You'll still get the fat you need, and it will stretch it a longer way, you know, if you're using nut butters. Here's another thing about nut butters and any kind of canned or jarred items. If you're a person who has a histamine reaction to things, some autoimmune disorders and different things, some nut butters and things like that can cause a histamine reaction in your body, and that used to happen to me, and I didn't realize why this raw almond butter or tahini or different things was doing that to me. Now, there's a specific kind of tahini. I'll have to look at the brand. I know what the jar looks like, that I always get, that's over at the fresh market. It doesn't seem to bother me. So, you know, start really tweaking these things for yourself so you can get to the next level, and you can quit just feeling okay, but you can feel fantastic, you know. So I'm fixing to go into Costco's. I have to get some lemons and I don't know, whatever else looks like it might float my boat. So see you on a bit. Hey, how are y'all? Get up. You got to dance to this. Okay, you're back in the kitchen with Tanny, and I want to show you something quick. Sit right there, okay? Stay. Okay, so listen, I am switching it up a bit tonight for dinner. So again, understanding the large proportion of things that I have for dinner, and the huge amount, okay? I had to set this in another bowl because for some reason my bamboo bowl is leaking, but I cannot discard this thing, okay? It's a core bamboo, and I did get it for $5, but that's not the point. You see, it has a little bit of moisture, so I just like double it up in this bowl, and it's kind of cute, but y'all see that? What this is first of all, a mammoth huge proportion. In my food processor with the tiny little bitty choppy little blade, I have 3 giant zucchinis, carrots, and cabbage all in there. Do you see that? The first thing I want to tell you is this. If you're not getting a hold of the cruciferous vegetables, especially different kind of cabbages, and once your palate becomes more clean, you will notice the different taste and textures in these cabbages, and it's very exciting. But it is a free colon broom for you. Understand that when you eat this and you chew it, masticate it until it's liquid in your mouth. As it goes through the colon, first of all, it absorbs toxins. Second of all, it's all cruciferous vegetables have high cancer-fighting properties, okay? Also, it brooms the colon, which is what we want, right? Which leaves you with a flat tummy. Okay, so that's what we have all in there. Very, very cheap. Let's see, I got this 3 zucchinis for $1.29 over at Aldi. The carrots were 59 cents for the bag, and I only used, I don't know, half the bag. And the cabbage was $1, so I don't know how much that is. Cheap's what it is. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the dressing. First of all, look at this lemon. This thing is huge, look. And you see, I used to have an addiction to eating lemons, and I didn't know that it was because I had low iron. And when you have low iron, sometimes you crave citrus, and I would eat these things, and I loved it when the pith was very thick like that, like my mouth is watering now. I have a problem. So just peel off the yellow, and I'm just going to say I used about 1 whole lemon. That's a regular size. I used about, it wasn't even half of this. This thing is enormous though. This would be a great earring right here. So anyway, that's what I have in my dressing bag. Let me tell you what's in here, because I'm going to put this on. I'm going to massage it in there. And this is a great base dressing. As you see, it's creamy. Kind of has a little nut butter look, but it's not. Let me tell you what's in it. We had half of an avocado. You could use less, or furthermore, you don't even have to put it. I'll tell you what you could substitute in a second if you don't want to have any overt or added fat. But in this dressing, I have half of an avocado, and it was a small one. 3 dates, large, decaf pit. 3 very large white cap mushrooms. 1 lemon, let's just say that was 1 lemon with the pith and all the fiber, just flick out the seeds. About a half a cup of water. If I had had coconut water, I would have used that because it would have been really good. If you don't want to use the avocado, just jack up your mushrooms. Do you see? If you want more dressing, like if you don't think this is enough dressing for this big salad, which to me it's going to be because I'm going to massage it in, I'm going to let it marinate because I have to go over and find Christopher some shoes at size 14s, and the ones he has are too small. Anyway, so that should be quite the hunt. So when I get home, I will want my food right then. Anyway, this dressing is a great base, and you can add in other stuff to it. I have a little bit of basil I'm going to put on this, but come along and ride on the fantastic voyage. You still can't see. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to put this on here, as you see. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. Okay, and then I'm just going to spoon it around with this. If I need to, this has made a good bit of dressing actually. Plus, my items in there were already kind of wet. You know, sometimes if you're making like zucchini noodles and whatnot, you might want to kind of paper towel those off, you know, or put them on a rag to dry it a little bit, squeeze them. Y'all, this smells so good. I've got a little bit of basil I'm going to put on here. I'm going to put some cracked pepper, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. First of all, look at that. Do you see? Okay. And y'all like uncooking with Tanny? Ignore my hair. I've been out wiping down the garage, the screen porch, because I'm now going to paint that thing, and it is huge, and I'm going to do it all by my dang self. Look at that. Do y'all see? Shall we see what it tastes like? That is really, really good. Do y'all see how easy that is? Do you see how it was cheap? Do you see how it's going to sweep your colon? You don't even have to sweep. You know, you're going to wake up with a flat tummy. Y'all, if this doesn't satisfy you, then hello. Can you see how large that is? Also, I might have a soup with that because I'm just greedy that way, you know. But yet, I will not be cramming in calories. I'll be getting in nutrients. So, keeping all those things in mind. And I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow, I'm sure, for some more dancing. Every dang day. See you later, alligator.